Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Baseball Now, the NL West pod side of things. I'm joined here today by Steven, and we're just going to be chatting about the top stories, kind of what's happening in the NL West today.
Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go Rocks. For those who follow Rockies now.
I know I'm wearing my Rockies hat today.
There we go. Got to represent the Rockies. And for those, this is kind of our first, I guess, official podcast. Our last one. If you saw that, that was kind of a pre-runner, a preview of what this show is going to be about. We talked about the deadline, which was awesome. Kind of came in last half there, but we're officially doing this podcast now. This is kind of like our first official episode of just talking regular conversational baseball and nothing too complex about it, just having fun. Which team should we start off with, Mason? Should we talk? There's one team that I think we all can agree that's doing really well.
Start with the Dodgers.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So if you watched last episode, I'm a huge Dodgers fan. I've been a Dodgers fan my whole life. And this is really concerning. I keep thinking back to game 2 of the Dodgers Angels series that just happened. The triple play that happened when Shohei was up to bat. My current mood is Dalton Rushing falling flat on the ground after tripping over.
Is he okay after that?
I think he's fine.
Okay.
I mean, the Dodgers haven't sent out anything.
He looked like he got hurt. I mean, that was a really good triple play, but I'm like, dang. I mean, he could have gotten hurt by the way he landed.
Yeah, but that's my current mood is just face flat on the ground. There are a lot of things, and we talked about in our trade deadline episode. We talked about how the Dodgers were really just prioritizing a bullpen, strengthening up the bullpen. Also added a few just offensive pieces as well. But really, since the All-Star break, I don't know. The Dodgers have felt kind of lost.
Yeah. And if I look at the standings here, the Dodgers, they've lost 4 in a row heading into today, which is Thursday, August 14th of 2025. Yeah, they've lost 4 straight. They've only won 4 games of the last 10. So that's, especially for Dodger baseball, that's bad. That's really, really bad.
Yeah,
it's not pretty, and their road record, they're only 1 game above 500, Mason, and that's kind of still not bad, but still, like, for the Dodgers, they're usually a team that, obviously, given their history, they do exceptionally well, both at home and on the road. And you got to do that if you want to win the division, and they don't own the division title right now. We'll get to that in a second. But, yeah, Dodgers are really sputtering right now. I mean, it's just not clicking. And, of course, they have a couple matchups, big marquee matchups coming up against the Padres. But, hey, it was really nice to see Mike Trout and Ohtani play against each other, which has been like forever because Mike Trout has always been out with an injury. No offense to Angels fans out there, but I love Mike Trout. I think a lot of baseball fans love Mike Trout. Actually, when we were talking last week about, guys that we liked watching growing up and everything, of course, Matt Holliday is forever and will be my favorite Rockies player ever or baseball player ever. But one guy I kind of emulated whenever I played with wiffle ball with my brothers in the backyard when I was younger, even now to this day, whenever I swing a wiffle ball bat or baseball bat, is Mike Trout. I mean, his swing, the way he stands at the plate. I mean, of course, not anymore, but this guy, former face of baseball right here. And I think it was just so cool to see Ohtani and Trout face each other.
I always enjoy the Freeway series.
100%.
It's always fun, but, it's, as a Dodgers fan, for the first time, I saw this morning, for the first time since sometime, I think, I want to say 1918.
Yeah.
I think what it was, the Angels beat the Dodgers 7 times.
Ouch.
During the Freeway Series matchup. I think that is over. Let me take a quick peek at the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think it was 2019, I think, to be exact. 2019, I think, was the last time. I might be wrong. Again, if somebody's who's watching this later or listening this later, let us know. But yeah, I think you're right. It might have been either 1918 or I don't know.
Yeah, so the Angels swept the Dodgers this last weekend, and it was ugly from the pitching staff. I think I want to touch on that. I said right at the start of this episode that the Dodgers really prioritized pitchers at the trade deadline, and I don't know what it is, but something just hasn't been clicking since trade deadline for our pitching staff. They've been like the starters have been dominant as always. Only allowing a few runs. I think there was the one game that Yoshi's last start. I think was
phenomenal
for him.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the starting pitchers are always on top of it. They're on top of their game. But especially in this last series against the Angels, I had no clue what our bullpen was doing. Like last night, August 13th, Angels walked us off in the 9th. And then the day before that, walked us off in the 10th. I'm just like, how did we go from, it was after Shohei left the game, it was 5-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was when Shohei, or it might have been 5-3 when Shohei left the game. After pitching 4.1 innings. And I'm just like, we score another run, insurance runs, and then we just blow that lead.
That's when you kind of miss the old Kenley Jansen, who's now on the Angels. Just so happens. Just like, man, you wish you had like 2013, 2014, 2015 Kenley Jansen on your team. And he's having a great year, by the way. I mean, he's still doing his thing.
Yeah, he's actually, which is like, because after he got traded from the Dodgers, he kind of just like...
Didn't he go to the Red? Yeah, he went to the Red Sox, and then he went to the Angels. I feel like he's...
Yeah. He kind of just like disappeared after getting traded from the Dodgers. He's had a great year.
Yeah. And
say that.
And not to mention, I'm looking at the list right now on MLB.com. I mean, you have some injuries. Max Muncy, right side soreness.
Yeah,
I don't know when he's going to come back.
It was very, very strange because he was supposed to start last night, but he got scratched due to that side soreness. It was, I guess, lingering effects from his previous injury. I mean, we're still obviously looking at. We've had Gavin Stone out for like a season.
Yeah, and he's not going to be back for a while.
Had Michael Grove out since this offseason with the shoulder injury. I'm just like, and this is the big one, okay? My man Evan Phillips, he has like 2023. That was his year. He was our closing pitcher in 2023, and he's out with an elbow injury because Tommy John. Like he has to get Tommy John. So, he's out for the rest of the season.
You have a bunch of names. Gratterwall's out. He's been out for the entire year, right?
Yeah, and I'm just looking at pitchers. I mean, just like Roki Sasaki, he's out. We only had him like for...
Kopech is out.
Yeah, Kopech's out. Kirby Yates is out. Tanner Scott is still out, but he's coming back pretty soon, I think. Same thing with Brock Stewart.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think Brock Stewart was one of our trade guys, and he got injured like right after we traded him. But he shouldn't be up for too much longer. Tony Gonsolin, who had Tommy John last year, and I think is still working on that area in his elbow. Yeah, I think Kopech and Gratterall. It's just we grabbed all these arms at the trade deadline. We still have all these arms that I would say, for the most part, are still doing pretty solid. But it's just
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're kind of, and I mean, we're still not there yet. We still have another month of baseball left, at least. But still, like, you do not want to be doing this right before the playoffs. Like, you cannot be doing this, especially if you're the Dodgers. Now, I think, was it Chris Rose? He has his baseball podcast with John Boy Media, but he was talking to Glass now. And he was asking, hey, are you guys concerned? Are you talking about it in the dugout? And he's like, yeah, obviously. But we're not too worried about it. And I feel like there's been that conversation for many times with the Dodgers where they'll go through these stretches, right? Well, they'll go through these losing streaks and they're just not clicking. And it's like, yeah, we're thinking about, we're talking about it, but we're not, too worried about it to where we're letting it. Right. But still, at the same time, though, as a baseball team, you still have to be talking about it every day, saying, hey, this has to stop. Not just like, okay, well, we'll get over it. No, you have to make moves. Exactly. You have to be aware of what's happening, because now the Padres have the lead here, Mason. And it's just like, you can't let this say, oh, well, the Padres, they're probably going to go. No, you never know. I mean, the Padres, they could catch it. I mean, the Padres, not to mention, they had probably the best. I mean, we talked about it last week. They had the best, by far, MLB trade deadline.
Yes, easily, 100%.
And the Dodgers, no offense, but it's almost like the Dodgers are like, here you go, here's the division lead. It's just like, if you're the Dodgers, you want to really 100%. Make some moves here. And here's the thing, though. I mean, Kershaw is pitching tomorrow for you guys, right? Against the Padres. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, Kershaw is pitching.
Okay, his ERA 3.14. That's good. But if you're the Dodgers, you need, of course, their starting pitching has overall been good, right? You still need that, but I feel like, now correct me if I'm wrong, Mason, because you know the Dodgers more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Has it been in the offense this year, or especially in the recent stretch?
Ever since All-Star break, offense
Yeah,
has been in a slump, and there are a couple players. I think Shohei and Mookie have really come alive, like since the start of August. We're seeing Freddie get back on his business. Will Smith back on his shenanigans as always.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like those are since getting Shohei, and it's only been what 2 years, right? We got him last year, I'm pretty sure. But, like since getting Shohei for our team, those have been our big four guys, and those guys had a huge slump June, July. They're just now starting to come back alive, and we're just waiting for the rest of the offense to do the same thing.
Right.
I think it's just a whole slew of issues that are happening in the team. Like we get good, we're getting good quality starts out of Yamamoto. We get good quality starts out of Kershaw. We get good quality starts out of Glass now. And it's and we get starts out of Shohei. Now he doesn't qualify for wins because he hasn't pitched 5 innings yet. But when Shohei does pitch, I mean his ERA is 3.47. I mean not amazing, but not terrible either.
Yeah.
In his 9 games that he's played. But it's just there are just so many problems, a lot of injuries that are just plaguing the team. I mean, we mentioned pitcher injuries, but also like our position players, like we have Muncy, who's still day to day with whatever the heck is happening.
Yeah, the soreness.
Kike Hernandez is still out.
Yeah.
Let's see this report on ESPN saying that his elbow injury pain-free. He could be able to come back early September is what they're saying for Kike. Hae-Sung Kim is still out with a shoulder injury. I think that's different from when he first went onto the IL. Hopefully we get Hae-Sung Kim back soon because he's been a great guy to watch play. Tommy Edman, I think, has definitely been. He's not as hot as he was last year, that's for sure. But he has still been an effective player. But since right around the start of this month, he's been out with an ankle injury. They're saying at least until September, which I think, again, just all the injuries have always been a thorn in the Dodgers' side. And I don't know, the pitchers have really just recently, since trade deadline, really just haven't figured it out.
Kind of reminds me.
I think that's the big thing right now. I think the offense is starting to come back alive more. We scored how many runs was it? Let me check real quick. And you keep going back to my ESPN page. I mean, we scored 19 runs against the Angels, and we scored 19 runs against the Blue Jays.
So it's consistent, It's,
yeah, I mean,
scoring
really
runs.
Since the series against St. Louis that we lost the second week of the month,
and that was in St. Louis, correct?
Yeah. It was no. It was in
LA.
Yeah.
That
was our first series against the Cards in LA. But Dodgers scored, what is that? Quick math. That's 21 runs against St. Louis, and then 19 and 19. Now I'm doing more math. I mean, 59 runs across the last 9 games from the Dodgers compared to, the series that we won in Tampa Bay. Now, they were all shutout games. Tampa Bay didn't score anything on us, but we only scored 12 runs that series, 15 against Cincinnati before that. In Boston, only scored 13 runs across that whole series. So I would definitely say the offense is definitely coming alive more the start of this month, but we need the pitchers to catch up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's going to be the big thing going into, the last month and a half of the season. We have our big division rivals this weekend. San Diego, the Padres, who, we might as well talk about them.
Yeah.
Here, I think this would be.
I think I agree. So with the Padres, again, we briefly touched on it last week about them winning the deadline. We gave them an A+. I think I gave them an A+. Yeah, I mean, they played against the Giants, and of course, we'll get to the Giants very quickly. I mean, we're probably not going to spend hardly any time on the Giants, just because I had no clue what's going on over there. I mean, Tatis averaged 266. I mean, while not like all-star level, but he had a good series in his last game, this past game against the Giants when they won 11-1. Tatis, went 2 for 3 RBIs, couple walks. His OPS is above 800, and we already know that's pretty good. I mean, their lineup, man. I mean, they have guys that know how to play. I mean, Ryan O'Hearn, I think he was acquired from the Orioles in that trade. I don't think I'm wrong about that. Ryan O'Hearn, he's been a great addition. He's hitting 275, 824 OPS. Ramon Laureano, he's been a dog for them ever since he got traded over there. Laureano went 3 for 4 yesterday, 2 RBIs. It's just like everybody down that lineup is contributing in some sort of way.
Mm-hmm.
And former Rocky Elias Diaz, who is their catcher, while his average is horrible, 199, he was able to get a knock. So it's just like the Padres have guys that know how to play baseball, even though their numbers aren't that great. They still come out and play. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It's like witchcraft. I don't know, but it's so weird. It's so weird how they get things done.
Yeah.
And then their rotation is really solid. I mean, Nick Pivetta, he's 12-4 in the year.
I think that has been, at least over the last week, I'm looking at the last week stats for both the Dodgers and Padres. That has really been what has been winning the Padres games. Because if we're comparing all the batters from the Dodgers and Padres who have played over the last week, Dodgers have a slightly worse batting average than the Padres, but they have a better OBP. They have a better slugging percentage. They have a better OPS than the Padres batting. They have more RBIs, more home runs. It's really, it has really just been the Padres pitching that I think is what is just doing it for that team.
I will say this:
Dodgers 89 total bases over the last week compared to Padres 84 total bases, 39 walks compared to 32. That has been another big thing. I'll briefly touch on this about the Dodgers. They draw a lot of walks, and I think that's what is really good about a lot of the Dodgers hitters is that they have really good plate vision. But those guys get on base and we can't capitalize on those runs. And it's been, just another one of those things. And we're striking out more than the Padres over the last week. 55 strikeouts for the Dodgers compared to Padres 33.
Yikes.
But I mean, if we want to take a look at pitching, the Padres total ERA over the last week is 3.11 compared to Dodgers 4.5.
Oof. Yeah. 4.5 runs per game. Yep.
Yeah. And, racking up 4 losses for Dodgers pitching over the last week compared to 1 loss for Padres pitching.
Yeah.
2 wins from pitchers compared to 5 wins over the last week.
And one of those wins, Mason, was Dylan Cease, who, by the way, is not having a good year at all. 4.52 ERA, and he's only 5-10 this year. And that's Dylan Cease, who is supposed to be their ace.
Yeah,
I know some Padres fans out there are saying that Joe Musgrove's their ace, or whoever. I feel like they have a whole rotation of aces at this point. But Dylan Cease is having a down year, and yet the Padres are somehow almost at 70 wins this year.
I mean, Dylan Cease's ERA this season is 4.52.
This is probably actually. No joke. This has probably been in one of his worst years as a career, and yet the Padres are doing.
I 100% agree. His
strikeout numbers are good. 169 strikeouts. That's good. I mean, he's going to hit 200, but
per 9 innings. But his, the walk to strikeout ratio is really solid too. I mean, like he's pitching it in the zone. He's pitching well. I think that may have been part of just the offense at the time when he was pitching. It may have been a reason for that not being
exactly
as good as it was.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, how in the world? Yeah, he has so many strikeouts. Yeah, his ERA is not good at all. I think you made your point. It's the offense for the Padres, which I think I would argue saying it's one of the best in baseball. I mean, it's so scary. I mean, if you look at the run differential on the standings page over here on MLB.com, the Padres are plus 52. They have scored 509 runs this year. But the Dodgers 626.
They've scored more runs and have a better run differential, but I think most of that is from the first half of the season for the Dodgers. Going back to pitching, over the last week, Dodgers pitchers have 26 earned runs Padres pitchers only have 19.
Yeah.
And Padres pitchers only allowed 3 homers. Dodgers have allowed 8.
Ooh. And that was just in that one series alone, correct? Against the Angels, or was that throughout the entire week?
I think that was across the Blue Jays and Angels series. Okay. Because I know the final game against the Blue Jays, there were back-to-back homers. That was 2 of them. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's
been a struggle for it's been a struggle for Dodgers pitching over the last week, and we can clearly see that Dodgers pitching 2 and 4 over the last week. This is measuring 6 games, like it says in the last 7 days, because today counts as that 7th day, and Padres and Dodgers are not playing today. So this is just over the course of each team's last 6 games. Dodgers 2 and 4, Padres 5 and 1.
Right. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, the Padres 8 and 2 in their last 10 games is crazy. And if you're a Dodger fan, you kind of wish that you had the Padres pitching right now.
Yep.
And actually, for those who are wondering, if you're listening or watching to this, the only NOS matchup that we have tonight is my Rockies taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks at Coors Field. And we'll get to the Diamondbacks and Rockies in just a second. But do we want to talk about? I mean, we can quickly just end it with the Padres. You know, if you're the Padres, what are you looking to do here? Just stay afloat at the top of the division. I mean, I feel like they're obviously gonna make the playoffs. They don't need to worry about that.
No,
but
100%.
if they want to if they wanted to win the division, Mason, what do you think what's key for them? I think
Padres. I think right now, I mean, especially if we're looking at over the course of their last 10 games, as what's been evident since the trade deadline, I mean. I think Padres just keep doing what they're doing. You know, like you said, over the last 10 games, they're 8-2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we go all the way back to the trade deadline, that was July 31st. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So since the trade deadline, Padres are, let me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're 9-3 across 12 games.
I need to find out what the Rockies record is. I think it's like close to 500. I actually take that back. I lied, because the Rockies just had that like 7 or 8 game losing streak, and we just broke that in this Cardinals series. I need to check that record.
We'll take a quick peek there.
I'll look at that.
But it's the Padres 9-3 since trade deadline, and I think. You know, there were reasons why they're 9-3 since the trade deadline, and there were also reasons why. Where are my Dodgers tabs? There are also reasons why, you know, since trade deadline, the Dodgers are 5-7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Padres 9-3, Dodgers 5-7, and this is since trade deadline. You know, that, like I said, there are reasons why it's happening. And I think both of the reasons why, you know, Dodgers have been worse, Padres have been better, is both because of their pitching staff. I think it's the big thing, because like we were taking a peek at earlier, their offensive stats are pretty much almost identical.
Very much.
All the hitters that have hit across the last 6 games for both teams are pretty solid. I mean, and we can also take a look at, you know, real quick. We'll take a quick peek at their offense, offense and pitching since All-Star break. I think that's another good thing to look at. I'll pull this up here.
While Mason looks that up, why don't you feel free to subscribe to Baseball Now? We're just starting this up. We appreciate you all, and thank you for watching. And tell a friend if you like baseball. This is the place to be, especially if you love the National League West team. If you're a Rockies fan, Giants fan, or I know Mason doesn't like Giants fans that much, but hey, we welcome everybody over here. We'll take anybody here. Hey, if you're a Giants fan, if you want to be a contributor, if you're looking to be a podcast world, just let us know here at Baseball Now, and we'll love to touch up on with you and get you going. But okay.
I've got it up. The differences. Dodgers 249 batting since All-Star break. Padres 276.
Okay.
So the Padres have been pretty consistent
Yeah.
since the All-Star break. Dodgers fallen behind just a little bit. I think the big one that we're taking a look at, Dodgers players have struck out 221 times since the All-Star break, and that's 24 games. To 25
Not
for
good.
some teams. It's been 25 games since the All-Star break. Dodgers have struck out 221 times across 800 total at-bats. The Padres have struck out 164 times across 874 at-bats.
So that's a lot.
Like the Padres' strikeout to at-bat ratio since All-Star break is significantly better. We're seeing Padres have scored 126 runs since the All-Star break, have 241 hits compared to Dodgers 108 and 199. Yeah, it's like,
you know what's so funny? Okay, should I mention this now? It's the Rockies strikeout number since the All-Star break. Should I mention it, or should we wait till the Rockies part?
maybe let's wait until
let's wait. Let's wait. Yeah, It's actually really, really close. I'll just say that. I do have the number pulled up. I found it on, for those who are wondering if you want to find some stats. Sometimes I use StatMuse online. They do a pretty good job. Sometimes I'll use ESPN or MLB.com, but I just typed in.
We'll typically use ESPN. If you're a stats guy, we typically use ESPN for looking at our stats.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like, if you got the Dodgers, you got to look at the Padres and say, okay, what are they getting it right? Of course, again, the Padres don't have this much injuries as the Dodgers do, because I feel like the Dodgers, and here's I will give the Dodgers credit for getting a lot of depth, right? I mean, they made the trade for Alex Call, but you did call
Alex
up.
Call's been a great addition to the team.
Yeah, and then you called up, was it Freeland, the third baseman?
Yep, yeah, we called up Alex Freeland.
Yep,
he's been great as well.
Yeah, so you do have depth there, but it's just I feel like right now it's just a tough spot, and it's always hard to try. I mean, I know it's the Dodgers. I know it's not like my Rockies or whatever to end a 7 or 8 game losing streak. And of course, the Dodgers haven't lost that much, but still, 4 losses in a row. And plus, they ended a losing streak not too long ago, and then they won a game or two, and then they started losing again. They've lost 4 straight. But it's just again, you said the record since the All-Star break, it's 5-7, right? I mean, it's just that's not a recipe for success. And not to mention, the Dodgers are I think I'm looking at it here, they're the 3rd or 4th seed in the playoffs right now, because the Brewers are 76-44. They're almost 10 games above the Dodgers in terms of if you look the wins and everything. They're way ahead, and more than likely, again, unless something happens with the Brewers, again, this is an NOS podcast, but I mean, come on, I'm looking at the standings right now, 12 wins in a row for the Brewers. That is unbelievable. I feel like the Brewers and the Padres and Tampa Bay, because we know the Rays, they have an excellent analytical department, but the Brewers, same thing. You look at the rosters, how in the world is this the best team in baseball? It's because of their pitching. They know how to make pitchers in Milwaukee. Wilson Contreras' brother, William Contreras, who is their catcher in Milwaukee, he's having a great year. Not to mention, it's just all these young players for the Brewers are just doing well. But yeah, I mean, for the Dodgers, you're not again, there's still a lot of baseball left, but I don't think the Dodgers are ever going to get that number 1 seed in the playoffs, which is huge, because don't you get a bye? I think you get a bye to the NLDS already, and then the other teams play in the wild card. I think that's how
you get a bye to the divisional series, so it's.
I think the top 2 teams, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, top 2 teams get their byes, and then it's the. What is it? The 3 and 6 seed, and then the 4 and 5 seed.
4 and 5 seed. So the Dodgers still have a chance here. I mean, it's still close between the Padres are only 1 game up on the Dodgers, and then the Phillies are of course, probably going to win that National East division at the Mets just go on a tear. But the Mets have been kind of bad recently. They've only won 2 games of the last 10.
If we want to take a quick look at just the National League overall, I mean, we're looking at Brewers are the 1 seed, the Phillies are the 2 seed, Padres move up into the
third. Yeah.
Sorry, Cubs are the 3 seed.
Oh, that's right. The
Padres
Cubs are right.
are the 4 seed. Dodgers are the 5 seed.
And that's tough. I mean, you're playing on the road.
Mets,
you're playing at the road at that point.
Mets are the 6.
Okay. And if the playoffs start today, so if the playoffs started today, so it would be 4 versus 5, right? So you'd be playing the Padres?
Yeah.
Good wild card matchup.
If playoffs started today, the Dodgers would play the Padres in the wild card.
And we already know. I mean, I think we talked about it, before we started, and maybe even last week. We already know it's gonna be a Padres. There's gonna be a series between the Padres and Dodgers again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's gonna happen. I mean, come on. But also too, I'm looking forward to it. It's not like, for me, I don't want that. No, I mean, again, I mentioned it, I think last week, when the 2022 playoffs were going on, and then when the Padres beat the Dodgers in the NLDS, that was a fun series to watch. I know maybe not for Mason, but it was a fun one, because I mean, you talk about, I mean, the Dodgers, I think they were up in that series 1-0, and the Padres just won 3 straight games or something like that. But that was just crazy. But and then not to mention, I think it goes back to even to 2020 during the COVID shortened season, when I think there was instead of 6 teams in the wild card, there was 8, and I absolutely hated that. I say it to many people even today, up to this day. I consider 2020 a fake season. I know for Mason, your Dodgers.
Okay.
For me, it was a 60-game season, and not only that, but the Marlins, they made the playoffs. I mean, okay.
I don't want to spend, because this is a contentious topic. Everybody had the same opportunity.
That is true. That is true.
So like when people are like referring to the NBA, it's like, oh, it's the bubble season, the Lakers ring is fake, or the Dodgers didn't really. It was like everybody played the exact same
number of games. Yeah,
they had the chance to make it to the finals or the World Series. I'm just like, and guess who capitalized on it? The Dodgers and the Lakers in that year. I'm just like, when people bring up that and they say it's a fake season, I'm just like, you're forgetting the fact that your team also played the same 60-game season.
Yeah,
your team just happened to be worse than the Dodgers that year.
I think for me, a part of it is because I'm still so mad at the Rays manager for taking out Blake Snell, and was it that 9th inning? I remember watching that, and I'm like, "What are you doing, Cash?" I think Kevin Cash. I think that's his name.
I mean, hey,
yeah.
And the Dodgers took that opportunity to win the World Series.
And Bellinger hit that. Was it Bellinger or Mookie that hit the home run?
I think it was
remember. Was it Mookie?
I tried to block out most of 2020. The Lakers win and the Dodgers win.
Yeah. Well, hey, as a Rockies fan, for those Rockies fans out there, and for those who follow Rockies now, I mean, us Rockies fans remember how at one point we were the best team in baseball to start off that 2020 season.
That is true.
And then we just fell to crap. I mean, we crapped the bed. It was so bad. I mean,
yep.
I mean, Mason, you remember? I think our Rockies. Well, I should say my Rockies, but I mean, you're a Rockies fan too. But our Rockies, we were like, what was it like? I want to say we started the year 12-4, and again, it's a 60-game season. If you want to do some research on that while I talk, but yeah, we were like 12-4 or 13-4. It was, or 11-4. It was something crazy like that. And I remember I was feeling great because we had just come off of 2019, which was a horrible year. I mean, it was a lot better given what we are now, but 2019, the Rockies were, I think we were 71 and 91 or something like that. But we were like, okay, we still have Nolan Arenado. We still have Trevor Story. We had Daniel Murphy on our team still. And we signed Matt Kemp, former Dodger, and which is kind of crazy to think about that he was a Rocky at one point. And then Ian Desmond, I think, however, Ian Desmond, that was his first year. That was just so stupid to sign him to that 5-year deal. But yeah, I mean, I just remember the Rockies had a really good start, and then everything just fell off the table. Like we got Arenado injured.
I found it.
Okay, what was our record?
I kind of have to do it a little bit backwards because
you have to go through the calendar and everything.
Yeah, because the season didn't start until July.
Late July. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So, but there were also only like 6 or 7 games in July.
That's right. It was like, they had that like stupid training thing for a couple of days where teams played like exhibition games. I remember that.
Yeah.
And I think we started the year. I think the Rockies started the year in Texas, and you guys started. Was it at home against the Padres?
I can't remember.
Again, it's been like 5 years, but yeah, I just remember the Rockies had a really good start. But yeah, it's just like.
I need to do some math because what I'm doing will be faster than going through
the
schedule itself. I'm just checking like via the pitchers page, checking the
Right.
record month by month.
But anyways, as we were talking, like with the playoffs and everything, I think it's going to be exciting. I mean, again, like we mentioned last week, there's still some teams here on the bubble for the playoffs. I mean, the Diamondbacks, they of course won a series. I know they swept my Rockies in Arizona. That was kind of embarrassing. I mean, Arizona hasn't been that great this year, but they're still like a couple games under 500. And third place in that division. And then a couple other teams. Again, the Mets, they're in the wild card race. Marlins, they're still hanging around. The Braves, obviously, they've been playing a little bit better recently, but still they're like, kind of close to 20 games below. And then obviously we know the Nationals, they're not doing anything. But yeah, I mean, and then you have the Central. Oh, go ahead.
I got it. Yeah. So
Okay.
across the 60 games, Rockies ended the 2020 season 26-34.
Okay, that's not horrible. That's not
in
bad.
July, they were 4-2.
Okay.
But at the end of August, they were 17-18, so they were one game out of 500. But
I remember, you remember that trade deadline
in the middle of August when people were like, "The Rockies are the best team in baseball."
Yeah. Well, you remember, like, I'm trying to remember. We did have a trade deadline that year. I remember that. And it was like it might have been like at the end of August instead of late July, obviously because of the pandemic year. But I remember the Rockies went out and got Kevin Pillar, and then who else did we get? We got somebody. I feel like we got somebody from the Dodgers. I might be wrong, but anyway, we got Kevin Pillar, and I'm like, I remember a lot of Rockies fans like, okay, we're kind of teetering on 500, but it's just like we weren't playing good baseball either way. But yeah, it's just like 8 teams in the playoffs. That was a little bit too much for me. I mean, we talked about it last week how we feel like the one game playoff wild cards is just like more magical and just more exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, in what they used to do, I don't know how long ago or when they changed it, but there used to be 8 teams from each division that made it into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be, you would have, like normal seeding goes, you have the 1 and 8 seed play each other in a wild card. You have 4 and 5 play each other. You have 3 and 6 play each other. You have 7 and 2 play each other. And those are all wild card games to make it to the divisional series and then the championship series. Like,
yeah,
that was the old playoff format. I think that's kind of where this topic stemmed from. But that's I kind of miss that, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Because obviously the current format makes it for more competition, like we said earlier.
And I think
it's what I say, it was the Brewers, Phillies, Cubs, Padres, Dodgers, Mets are the 6th in the National League. But if we extend that out to 8 teams, then that has the Reds and the Cards.
And the Reds, I mean, they got Terry Francona this past year, and I wasn't too sure about that. I know he's a great manager, but I just felt like the Reds roster wasn't that ready yet. But hey, they're proving me wrong right now. I mean, they're 6 games above 500 right now, and they're still in the wild card race. And I think if they make the playoffs, there's no question. I mean, I think we can both agree that the Brewers are going to win that division easily.
Yeah, I mean Brewers take the NL Central without a doubt. I mean,
they're already 8 games
I'm a Dodgers
up.
fan. Yeah. I'm hoping Dodgers go back-to-back World Series, obviously. But it's a little dicey. I think
it's going to be interesting to see. I mean,
this conversation started like 10 minutes ago, right? Or whatever.
And well, and then I will say this before we move on to our last couple teams here in the NL West, and then we wrap this show up. But I mean, the Brewers, though, I mean, even though they're good, it's just like Mason. We've seen the last couple of years the Brewers choke in the playoffs in the first round.
Yeah.
Last year they lost to the Mets. Pete Alonso with his big home run. I mean, the Mets were down to the last couple of outs, if not their last out. And that saved the Mets season, and the Mets go into the NLCS against the Dodgers, right?
And then we whipped them.
right in the butt. And then, and then the year before that, the Brewers get swept by the Diamondbacks, which they go to the World Series. So, Mason, maybe you're kind of hoping that the Dodgers play the Brewers. So if you beat the Brewers,
I think let me check this schedule.
Yeah, just check the schedule, and because hey, you never know. I mean, I think that's a very interesting stat though. Like teams that have beaten the Brewers in the playoffs have gone to the World Series. So if you're the Dodgers, or if
the Dodgers do not play the Brewers again,
okay.
But I mean, as a Dodgers fan, I'm hoping that the pitching, our bullpen locks it in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like
going into this last month and a half of the season, offense is picking up again, which is good to see.
Was it Walker?
And I'm hoping that the Padres, are just worse than us. It doesn't matter how.
Yeah,
But
yeah. You just pray that happens. But wasn't Walker Buehler? I know he was pretty bad last year, but wasn't he like really good in the playoffs?
he was incredibly
And so
dominant
maybe that's
during
what
the
like Dodgers
playoffs.
fans are hoping for. I mean, again, while like I mean, it's not like the pitching has been bad or like it's just like it hasn't been clicking, and so you're kind of hoping that it clicks in the playoffs. So it's still, you still need to play your best baseball. I mean, this is like if the Dodgers end up playing the wild card, which is very rare for them, you kind of don't. I mean, the Padres. I mean, the Dodgers. Like, you need one of those two buys. You absolutely need
My
it.
favorite thing, looking at Dodgers 2024 postseason stats, Walker Buehler had 1 win, 1 loss in the postseason, and then 1 save.
And he was the
Which
guy
was
that ended
Game
the World
5 of the
Series.
World Series.
There you go. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just like the Dodgers, while like they might have guys that have bad years or injury prone years, there is always a chance. I mean, the Dodgers, again, they were so good last year. I mean, they beat a good Yankees team. Let's remember how good the Yankees were last year. But I
Yeah,
mean, you guys won 4-1 in that series. So I don't know if you're the Dodgers. I know you're not playing great, but I still think that there's a real possibility you
I think
guys
the
still have a
hope for the
chance.
Dodgers, and it's crazy that even though the Padres are top of the division, that they're the 4 seed. Padres looking to grab that number 2 seed at the least. And same thing with the Dodgers. I think, and I'll say with full confidence, Giants, Diamondbacks, and obviously the Rockies. I mean, there's no playoff hope for all 3 of the other teams in the NL West.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're looking at the overall standings, Giants are on a 5-game losing streak, which put them below 500. Diamondbacks won their last 2, but Diamondbacks and Giants are tied at 488 winning percentage. But with how many games left do we have?
Let me, if I do my math correctly, roughly like, and then plus with the month, I think roughly like I would say like 40-50 games left ish. Yeah, because if we played like 88 and 32, that would be like give us close to like
44 games.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, 44 to 50 games.
I just counted 44 games.
Okay.
So I mean, there are still plenty of baseball left. A lot can happen in 44 games. But
it gets more difficult, especially if you're 6-5 games, even like 4 games. Like, you have to hope that the other team goes on a losing streak just for you to overcome that. Exactly. But yeah, like you're like,
44 games left. I mean, hypothetically speaking, if the Padres lose every single game for the rest of the season, and the Rockies win every single game for the rest of the season,
World Series.
I mean, Rockies can maybe make it to the wild card.
That's if we had to win every single game, but yet we would be like still like 7 games under 500 roughly, because we would be 81 and 88.
36 and a half games behind the Padres.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if the Padres lose 37 games and the Rockies win 37 games out of the next 44, I mean, Rockies are better than the Padres, but I mean that's
imagine
extreme hypothetical. I mean, like, there's just
I can imagine that. Like, hey, for those who are wondering, I mean,
the year.
For me as a Rockies fan, I just want something good to happen. I mean, well, again, we'll get to the Rockies in just a second, and as we move to our last couple teams here, we'll go very quickly we'll try to do these within a couple minutes here. But let's like quickly go to the Diamondbacks. I mean, the Diamondbacks, again, like I mentioned earlier, they came off a series win against my Rockies, and of course they're starting a new series in Colorado tonight. They had a really good series against my Rockies. I'll give them that. I mean, they had walkout. I mean, my Rockies were competitive in that series. I mean, I think 1 or 2 of those games were walk-offs by Arizona. The Rockies were able to stay in the game there, which is great. But I mean, Rodriguez, my goodness, who is pitching tonight by chance? Rodriguez, ever since he signed that big contract with Arizona, it's not been good at all. 5.68 ERA. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mason, but I just feel like whenever the Diamondbacks go out and get a free agent starting pitcher like Corbin Burns, who is out for the year, right? Eduardo Rodriguez or Madison Bumgarner from years ago, it just goes to the toilet. I mean, I feel like the Diamondbacks' best odds of getting pitching is kind of like the Rockies drafting, develop them, or make solid trades, kind of like what they did with Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly. And now Merrill Kelly is gone, and Jordan Montgomery's gone. And so now you just have Zach Gallen, who is, I guess, I mean, he came via trade, not free agency. So, but yeah, I mean, their starting pitching has not been that great.
And
It's been wishy-washy.
Diamondbacks are only 3 games out of 500 right now. So I mean,
yeah, so they're still in the race, you know.
Yeah, they can. I think. I mean, Giants and Diamondbacks are both tied. They have the same record right now.
Yeah,
I think they're both still in the race, but they're also both 10 games behind the Padres, 9 behind the Dodgers. So I think because of how competitive those 4 teams are, sorry, Rockies fans, because how competitive the top 4 teams in the NL West are, I think a lot can change in 44 games, but I doubt we see the Diamondbacks or Giants in the wild card.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it just
I think even though
because you look at the Central, like the Central is just too good. I mean, and then even the East. I mean, the East is not that bad. I mean, you do have the Marlins, but yeah.
The problem is Central. I'm just like, even if Diamondbacks, Giants, Rockies by some miracle, even if they all go above 500, I mean, if all the other teams stay consistent, I don't think there's room for Diamondbacks, Giants, Rockies to make it into the playoffs because the Cardinals are already at 500. So if the Cardinals stay at 500, I think it's like the first team to reach that percentage, if there are multiple teams tied, gets that seed, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be like, even if they do reach 500, Cards are already there.
Yeah, and if you had to tell me which one's better, the Cardinals or the Diamondbacks, I'm taking the Cardinals. I mean, even though like I'm not a big fan of the Cardinals, the way that they've been playing this year, it's been like 500 basically the entire season. Diamondbacks kind of the same thing. I mean, Diamondbacks, however, at one point I think we were like close to 10 games under, and they have played a little bit better baseball. I mean, you do look at guys at the top of that order for the Diamondbacks. I mean, Perdomo's having a solid year, 286 average. Marte's having an MVP type season, 23 home run year. 297. Corbin Carroll's had a big bounce back year compared to last year. He's probably going to hit 30 home runs this year. 62 RBIs. He's back. And then you look the rest of the lineup for the Diamondbacks. It's like, it's not that great. I mean, they have a bunch of younger players and prospects are making their debuts this year. So Arizona, their lineup is, I think, a little bit surprisingly. I thought St. Louis was going to be horrible this year. St. Louis is actually playing decent baseball this year. I would say that no question. I would take the Cardinals over the Diamondbacks just because the Diamondbacks have been very unstable this year, and I just feel like if you're a team that is vying for a wild card or a playoff spot, you need to have good starting pitching, maybe even just 1 or 2 good starters, which I feel like has been kind of rare for Arizona. I feel like their only solid pitcher this year has been Gallen, and I think Kelly might have been having a good year because obviously they traded him, but. Now Arizona, like you said, last week in the pod. I mean, Arizona's not rebuilding; they're just retooling their team right now, so they're in that stage.
This up real quick, since we're talking about Diamondbacks and Giants, the Diamondbacks have been better than the Giants since the All-Star break.
Yeah, what's the record? You have the record up? I mean, the Giants. So, like, since they've lost 5 games for the Giants, since they've lost their last 5 and roughly. So you would have to.
The All-Star break. Keep in mind, this is 24. It's only been 24 games since the All-Star break.
Yeah,
or 25, depending for a couple teams. The Giants are 7-17. And the Diamondbacks are dead even. Diamondbacks are 500 since All-Star break. Giants are 7-17.
Oof.
And the Giants, I think we mentioned earlier, are on a 5-game losing streak right now.
I'm trying to remember. Of course, we briefly touched on Giants in the podcast last week, but I mean, they got Devers in that deadline. But I'm trying to remember, did they make any other big moves at the deadline? I don't think they did.
Kremsky?
Oh, that's right. So they did sell. They did sell a little bit, but sometimes I'm like wondering, okay, what are the Giants doing? Are they going to try to like retool for next year? Like, what's the whole goal? Because the
Giants really just grabbed. They grabbed a lot of pitchers.
Right, and Verlander was one of them, yeah.
And traded a lot of prospects.
Which, for me, I'm like, I feel like I said to you last week, the Giants need to go younger, but just like, I feel like they're refusing to do so. It's just like, why not play Marcio Luciano? I think that's his name. He's shortstop process. I think he might have been playing this year. He might have been playing recently, for all I know. But
does not look like it.
Okay, I mean, I have seen some reports. Like I'm looking right now, according to some reports and some writers for the Giants, saying that their farm system for the Giants is doing pretty good. They're surging, but it's just like there's just not a lot to be excited about right now. I mean, it's just like there's a lot of. I mean, Heliot Ramos is having a great year for them. Christian Koss is a name to watch out for.
I mean, he's their best hitter.
Yeah.
But I'll say this,
and they have a good manager. I mean,
over the last 6 games, Heliot Ramos has a 160 average and a 192 OBP and 160 slugging.
Oh, okay.
He only has 4 total bases, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. So I mean,
defensively though, I think I've heard he's good.
We can take a peek at that.
Yeah, look at his defensive ratings. But yeah, Bob Melvin, like I was saying, Bob Melvin is a great manager. I mean, he was a former manager of the Athletics before he took a break and then came back. And then he was actually a Padres manager. I almost forgot the Padres. See, like the Padres are outside of my mind right now. So, but yeah, like the Giants, I need to look at some of the more of their numbers here.
I mean, Heliot Ramos' fielding percentage, I believe, is the second best on his. Oh no. Oh, there are a lot of people who have like minimal chances who have a 1,000. But I mean, if we're not looking at people who have 1,000, Heliot Ramos has a 968 fielding percentage this season.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not like the greatest. That's not Gold Glove caliber, but that's still pretty solid.
No,
like,
but it's not the end of the world.
Right. I mean, if you're Gold Glove caliber,
errors.
Yeah. Okay, 10. That's not bad. Yeah.
His D-WAR is negative 1.4 though.
Oh, that's bad.
Heliot Ramos.
That's pretty.
I guess if we're talking about defensively, I want to touch on Rafael Devers because Giants fans have not been happy with him.
Nope. He's been their DH, correct?
Not in the slightest.
Yeah, he's been their DH, correct? I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He's also been playing a little bit of first recently.
Okay. 49 games so far.
His D-WAR is negative 0.04. Sorry, negative 0.4. I said that wrong.
Negative 0.4. And his average for Devers 231. Ooh.
I mean, I think it was like initially when they got him. I think Devers has come to life a little bit more on the Giants, though.
Yeah. But I will say this, though. There's been some talk about clubhouse issues with him, and I think you iterated last week about that. Like, there's been, like, issues with that, and it's just like, I don't know if it's just San Francisco is very sus. It's very sus. I'm very curious to see what they're, because, again, I have, like, really good confidence that hopefully Buster Posey in that front office, because again, he was a longtime Giant catcher and obviously a rival to Dot. I mean,
he was one of the greatest to do it for,
and he absolutely killed the NL West, including my Rockies, your Dodgers. I mean, one of the greatest Giants of all time.
When he was playing, when I was younger, I was like, oh, dude, this guy's up to bat again.
And yeah,
I mean, because he was a scary threat. And I think since Buster Posey's retired, since Brandon Crawford has retired, the Giants really have
not been the same,
fallen out of contention.
Right, exactly. And it kind of reminds me of the Cardinals a little bit. Ever since Yachty, Pujols retired, and then Adam Wainwright, the Cardinals has just not been the same. And
they're having a better year this year, like we've touched on a couple times. Cards are 500 right now.
Yeah. And I mean, but that division, you do have, I mean, it's a little bit easier in that West.
That division's tough. That division's tough.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, it's just very quickly, again, we won't stay long here on the Giants, and we briefly touched on the Diamondbacks. But yeah, the Giants, if I'm the Giants, just play the young kids at this point. If you are, great. But if not, like, you got to do kind of like what the Rockies are doing. I mean, I'm not saying commit fully to the rebuild, but you got to just at some point just say
Giants have a lot of great pieces. I think
for they do
point in the season, I think it's smart for them to continue to try and contend because there's still a chance for them. But as soon as contention is out of the picture for the Giants, I think that's when they need to reconsider who is out on the field up in the majors.
Right. I mean, Matt Chapman, Gold Glove caliber third baseman. I mean, Willie Adames got acquired from in free agency from the Brewers. He was a former Brewer shortstop. He's 18 home runs, 61 RBIs, OPS of 702. So that not great.
Either Fitzgerald, who isn't the best offensively, but he's a great defensive piece.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean,
Flores.
you're playing in a ballpark off the coast, off the bay, and I mean, I feel like all year in San Francisco, it's not like warm there. Like the ball doesn't fly off the bat in that park. It's a pitcher's ballpark.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
there's been some games
100%.
as a Rockies fan. As a Rockies fan, I've seen some games where games you do score 10 or 11 runs, but it's very rare. I feel like, especially when you play in that ballpark. But yeah, I do agree. They have decent pieces. I mean, Young Ho Lee, which I like. Again, I just love the guy. He's just been so often. I mean, I'm glad that he's been a little bit healthier this year. I think. I mean, last year he was out for a majority of the year.
He's been great for the Giants this season.
Yeah, and then and then Wilmer Flores, he's been in San Francisco for a while. I'm looking up his numbers here. 249. I mean, they do have decent pieces. It's just that I feel like they need like almost like a cornerstone. And I feel like I'm not sure if maybe I don't know. Maybe Devers is still adjusting. It's always that possibility, but it just has not panned out. I mean, it's not like Devers has had a bad year. 256, 23, 81, 845 OPS. I mean, that's good, but he's been like 232 since he's come over here. And I think that's the Giants that were expecting more than that because this guy is an on-base machine. I mean, we saw in Boston, the guy gets on base and he hits for power. Yeah. He's an all-star. And
his OPB is currently 343.
Yeah, and that's
which is the second best on the team this season.
Who's first?
David Villar. Ooh. With a 360 OBP.
David Villar, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Star Wars reference, by the way.
I guess he's just a
bench player.
A backup first baseman.
Yeah, funny enough, on my MLB app, he's not even. He's on the 40 man. He's on the
9 games for the Giants this season.
Okay, I mean, still that's good for Devers, but still, like that's okay. That's a little concerning. But still, I mean, yeah, it's only small samples, and
I feel like that's not really that
right. It's a small sample. It's not like a full year, so we will give the credit there. And again,
Devers has the best, second best slugging.
Yeah, and so we're gonna give the Giants some credit here, even though it's been a rough patch for them since the All-Star break. I'm
gonna say it overall for the Giants since getting Devers has been like their second best player.
Mm-hmm. And
I think I think their best player right now, Helio Ramos, Jung Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, who's been exceptional this season for the Giants.
Right.
I mean, Matt Chapman has the best WAR on the team. He has a 3.5 WAR.
Mm.
So, like, Matt Chapman, when he's at the plate, he's doing damage.
And he's about to hit 200 career home runs. He's only 2 away from hitting 200 in his career. And that's for Matt Chapman. But yeah, and Chapman, he's been banged up this year. He's only played 96 games so far. And there's only he might be able to get close to tying, next year's game totals. But as we quickly go to the Rockies here in just a second, for the Giants, honestly, Mason, what should they be looking at right now? Should they just kind of like Arizona, just retooling in the offseason? But I just feel like we see that kind of every year for San Francisco. They'll add a couple players. They might lose a guy or two in free agency.
Yeah, I think this season Giants are still looking to contend.
Okay.
I mean, without a doubt, I think they're still definitely looking to contend. I don't think they're going to be in the wild card. I can say that with confidence. I think that they need to prioritize looking at their younger guys and seeing who they can bring up and give chances.
Right, because you never know. There could be a guy like a few years ago when Evan Carter came up for the Rangers, and all of a sudden became an MVP play. I mean, I know Corey Seager helped them get to the World Series and hit that home run in the ALCS against the Houston Astros and then the World Series eventually. But the Giants could use a guy in their one of their prospects to be like an Evan Carter for them.
Yeah,
and like you said, I mean, the Giants, they're not like 10 games behind or 10 games back from 500. They're only they're 3 games.
They're 3 games out of 500, 10 games back from the pods.
So it's still doable. It's still doable. But if time is running out, I mean, you're in the middle of August now. But this is the time of year where teams, not only the NL West that we've been talking about, but teams are all around baseball. You have to do stuff now.
Yeah.
You have to call up your prospects.
I think I'll say this for all of baseball. I think if your team is below 500, I mean, depending on where you are below 500, you're either looking to just retool, make it out of the season, or you're still looking to contend. But every team at least needs to be rethinking. I think this just goes for the entire MLB. If your team is below 500 this season, I mean, you need to figure out what's going wrong. And I think, I don't know, but I have felt, at least for a lot of teams, a lot has been going wrong for a lot of teams this season. I mean, like
Atlanta.
I'm thinking teams like Atlanta, Washington, Pittsburgh, like those three teams come to mind. The Twins, the Orioles. I'm just like these.
Oh my goodness, the Orioles, they fell off so hard.
I know. I'm just like these teams who, like last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, who were all so contending teams. I'm just like, they have all fallen apart this season. And I think for a lot of teams, they need to be reconsidering, what are we doing? What's going wrong?
Right. And I think, again, we'll get to the Rockies here, and we thank you all for your patience. But Jackson Holiday for the Orioles, for instance, he's starting to improve, and we're starting to see the player Jackson Holiday's becoming. But I remember people were like, oh, Jackson Holiday's a bust. It's just like, it's not. No, give him time. The dude's only like 21, 22 years old. I mean, he literally was drafted out of high school. He might even be only 20 years old. Like, it's insane. So really, for some of these teams that are like rebuilding mode, like my Rockies, like maybe the Orioles retooling, maybe not blowing everything up, even though the Orioles did somewhat sell at the
Orioles
deadline.
Definitely blew everything up this season.
Yeah, they really did. But for them, they have to build around their young players. Like the Orioles have to build around Jackson Holiday and Mayo, and then another young player, Adley Rutschman. Even though I haven't really heard his name.
Gunnar Henderson still.
Gunnar Henderson, one of the best third basemen in baseball, on the cover at MLB The Show 25, right? They have to build around these players. I mean, and then another name I'll put around, Paul Skeens. The Pirates have to build around him, but it's just like the ownership in Pittsburgh has not been good.
Well, let's talk about the Pirates for a moment, and then let's jump to the Rockies. I think the Pirates are one of the most confusing franchises this season. They're one of the most confusing franchises.
Excellent starting pitching. Excellent. I mean, they have Skeens, and then they have Jared Jones, who I absolutely love. I have him in fantasy.
Yeah, it baffles me, like what's happening with the Pirates. You have they have fantastic offensive pieces: Brian Reynolds, O'Neal Cruz, Andrew McCutchen,
and they extended Brian Reynolds. They extended him just like a year or two ago, right? I think they did.
I think so. And they have pitchers like Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller. I mean, like those two great pitchers. And when did they get Caleb Ferguson?
Like out of nowhere. Probably like in the offseason, I think probably.
Oh, that's so. I guess I must have lost track of Caleb Ferguson. When
former Dodger legend. Dodger legend right there.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, wait, I know that
guy. Where did he go to?
Caleb Ferguson's actually with Seattle now.
Okay, so
he's
been around. Yeah, he's been around.
But again, great pitchers. You have Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller. I mean, and you have. I mean, let me take a look at a couple relief pitchers and
they still have good. I mean, I know
Dennis Santana, David Bednar, Isaac Mattson, like great pitchers, great starting pitchers, great relief pitchers, and great offensive pieces for the Pirates. What's happening?
Yeah, I think it's the offense, because there's been multiple times where, again, as a Rockies fan, we already know our Rockies offense has been historically bad this year. I mean, as a team entirely, it's been bad, right? But I think there's been a couple times to where I'll see a stat of the Rockies offense and the Pirates offense is either right next to the Rockies or even worse, which is kind of shocking. Given the Pirates, they have, I think, they're in a better spot than my Rockies are right now in terms of rebuilding and everything, and they have better talent than the Rockies at the moment. But it's just like, I agree. I think a lot of it has to do with, I mean, for those who stay in touch with the offseason stuff, which we're super excited for, to get stuff rolling for baseball now this offseason going into next year when we officially start doing content on Instagram and everything. We're just kind of starting this up slowly. But last offseason, the Pirates did nothing. Really didn't do much at all when they should have done a lot, because Paul Skeens won the Rookie of the Year in the National League last year. And everybody, including myself, was like, okay, here we go. The Pirates are going to make these big moves in the offseason. I think they were, if I'm not mistaken, they were one of the teams that had the least amount of spending in the offseason, which is a joke because this is Paul Skeens is a generational talent type of guy. I mean, from
100%.
LSU, and he went through this. I mean, he started the All-Star game not even a year after he was drafted, which is insane. And he made his debut. Okay, so like he didn't. I don't think he made his debut the year he was drafted. I think he just went through the farm system, but he started like a couple months into the season the following year after he was drafted, which is again insane. It's so hard to do in baseball, and that just shows you how good he is. And not to mention, he's already a two-time All-Star. He's started both games for the National League and the All-Star game. And yet the Pirates, I don't know why, but it's just like they refuse to spend money in the offseason or period to improve the roster for Paul Skeens. And now there's been talks about them potentially trading him in the future. It's like, what are we doing here, Pittsburgh? Like, if I'm a Pirates fan, I am begging ownership to spend the money.
Do something.
Give us hope. And yet the Pirates are 51. They're 20 games below 500, and they're dead last in the Central. Yeah. And I was predicting the Pirates to be, I think, a third or fourth place team, and I thought the Pirates were on the up. But now I'm like having second thoughts.
The Pirates were going to be the second best in their division.
Okay, see that I would have seen that as well, because again, for me, I wasn't too confident about the Reds yet. I know they were up and coming, but I had the Reds and the Pirates in the same boat. But now looking at it now, Mason, it's like they're both on opposite sides. The Reds are much more ready to compete than the Pirates are. And
100%.
And it's just like, it's shocking. Like you said, it's shocking.
I think that like these things we're talking about the Pirates, I think is exactly how the Rockies season is going.
Yes.
I mean, it's
let's roll into the Rockies here.
I have the power rankings pulled up, and also the bottom 20, the bottom 10 teams in the MLB have been the same since the last power rankings, which is the Marlins, Diamondbacks, Angels, Twins, Orioles, Braves, Athletics, Pirates, the White Sox, the Nationals, and the Rockies. Yeah, and I think, I mean, easily putting the Rockies anywhere but the worst team in baseball is wrong. I mean, they are the worst team
100%
in baseball. And I think when was this MLB power ranking? I think came out
the other day.
Actually, this morning.
Okay, this morning. Okay,
literally this morning. So this is what one of the ESPN experts, Gonzalez, this is what he says about the Rockies. August is only 14 days old, and it already includes an 8-game losing streak for the Rockies. Rockies have suffered through 5 8-game losing streaks this season. Their run differential is a whopping minus
300.
Yeah, it's
300. It's bad.
362.
It's going to hit 400. It's going to hit negative 400.
Oh my gosh,
dude!
Hold on. Their run differential, a whopping minus 362, more than double that of the second worst team, the Nationals, at minus 148. And the remaining 13 series, 7 will come against teams that will likely be in the playoffs this year, including 3 against the Dodgers and Padres. With a little more than 6 weeks remaining, the Rockies are on pace, for 119 losses.
Yep.
Too shy of the modern day record set by the White Sox last year. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rockies have more than 121 losses this season. Would not be surprised.
Yeah. I think we haven't really, again, we're hoping to get back on the Rockies podcast because we've been super busy with our 5280 media stuff over there for our stuff, and we've been kind of building that. But one of the things that we haven't really talked much about is the record. Will the Rockies beat the White Sox record from last year? When the Rockies were coming off hot out of the All-Star break, I was like, nah, we're going to be okay. We're going to pass that. We're probably going to get 45, 46 wins or something like that. Maybe close to 50. Now it's going to be really close because of that 8-game losing streak that we just had. But I will say there are some positives here. And the stat I was going to share earlier about the strikeouts since the All-Star game. And you said the Dodgers was 199.
For what?
Something for the strikeouts since the strikeouts as a team.
Yeah.
So the Dodgers are 199. The Rockies 198. One strikeout better. So it's just like, hey, at least the Rockies can claim that, that they're a little bit better at strikeouts than the Dodgers are. But still, I mean, it's just like, I will say this: the Rockies. So, like looking at their based off their numbers, okay, so they win the series against the Twins, which is great at home, and I think that was their actually first series win at home of the season. Then they win against the Cardinals at home, and so it's like, okay, we're 4-2 out of the break. Baltimore just absolutely crushed us after their first game. We lost 18-0. Game 2. I feel like we could have won the Guardian series, but we lost that series there. And of course, the Rockies naturally, of course, in the history of we've never played well on the road. But then we won that crazy game 1 against the Pirates, 17-16. That was one of the greatest games I've ever seen or witnessed because we were both working together when it happened. I remember I was in the back room and I was just going crazy. It was awesome. I had never seen that before. And then, of course, the Blue Jays came. When the Blue Jays came to town, that's when I was like, okay, here we go. This is going to be bad because you're talking the best team in baseball, arguably, or in the American League. Yeah. And the Blue Jays, it's just it was a bloodbath.
The Rockies.
Dude, 20-1 in Game 3.
I think the biggest problem, like the Pirates, the Rockies' biggest problem. Well, actually, it's actually the opposite problem with the Pirates. The Pirates can't hit. The Rockies can't pitch. I'm looking at across this season, their best starting pitcher has the lowest ERA from their starting pitcher is where I just lost it.
It's
is
475. Okay, it could be worse.
Has a
and he's been out for a chunk of the season.
Only played 6 games.
Yep, 6 starts.
So I mean, if we go to someone like Kyle Freeland, who's been a good starter. He's played 22 games, a 5.18 ERA.
Yeah.
Enderman Marquez, 5.67.
He's been bad.
Chase DeLander, 6.35. Austin Gomber, 6.75. Antonio Senzatella, 7.34.
I honestly, we have this group chat with the Rockies now. I really don't get why Senzatella still has a job on this team. It's just like I don't think he's had one single solid start this year. It's not like most of the blowouts that we've had has been because of Senzatella starting. Like the Blue Jays game, he started that one.
The Rockies' best ERA is from a position player.
Players.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't make this stuff up.
Shortstop only played 1 game, pitched 1 inning,
one Dodger,
1 hit.
Alan Trejo was a Dodger. He got signed by the Dodgers at one point. I don't think did he ever play in the big league clubhouse for the Dodgers? I think it was just
let me take a look
Alan Trejo. Because because you guys got rid of him. You guys DFA'd him, and then the Rockies signed him back.
Well,
you check that. Yeah. So again,
the Rockies have had Trejo since 2021.
Okay, but I think Trejo went to I think he signed like a minor league deal with the Rangers, and then Dodgers.
I mean, I guess if they're minor league deals, they're not going to show up in his stat line.
Right. Yeah. If you're, are you looking at ESPN or MLB.com?
I'm on ESPN.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on MLB.com. They show Major League stats and they show Colorado. So so he has not played Major League time with the Dodgers, but currently he is, I believe, in the Rangers minor league system right now in their AAA team. But yeah, I mean, Alan Trejo, he's moved back and forth. I mean, the Rockies had him, of course, like Mason said. Then if I look at his minor league stats here, he did play a little bit for the Dodgers AAA team, Oklahoma City. I mean,
if we want to ignore the fact, Alan Trejo, he only played 1 game, pitched 1 inning. Okay, the next best pitcher is a relief pitcher, Jimmy Herget, who is a 2.81 ERA.
Yeah, and I'm kind of that's like there was a couple of guys that was like, okay, I kind of wish the Rockies could have moved him. I think I mentioned last time it was Mickey Moniak, and I think the other one might have been Herget. Herget, it's been good this year. But yeah, man, it's just like the Rockies, their pitching sucks. Let's be honest. It sucks right now. And I will say though, like I know that Dollander, I know a lot of people are like, oh, Dollander's a bust. No, Dollander, he's a rookie. And it's not like he was a Paul Skeens type of guy, even though he was ranked pretty much along Skeens in terms of the draft and everything. But Dollander, he had a really good start yesterday against St. Louis, or the other day. So I'm still confident about that. I'm still okay with Freeland. I know a lot of people don't like Freeland that much anymore, even though he had a solid 2018 season. He keeps the Rockies in the games. I just feel like that, even though he's not all that great. Marquez,
what the Rockies
though,
have done since the trade deadline. Now, obviously, they have an awful record since the trade deadline, but the moves they've been making for like players who are playing, I think, have been smart. I mean, we brought up Rockies brought up Warming Burnable, who has been
excellent name. Yeah.
Yeah. We love the name Warming.
Just love it. And then like
somebody Burnable, who's been great. Kyle
I think somebody commented, I forget where it was, but somebody commented is saying, what about, are they going to call up his brother Cooling Burnable? Warming and Cooling. But dude, like it's such a great name. But not only that, but they called up Kyle Karros just the other day in the Arizona series. And dude, and I'm excited. I know again, I tend to get excited for prospects, and sometimes they don't pan out. But Kyle Karros is doing pretty well for the Rockies. I mean, defensively he's good. And there's been conversations. Could he be the third baseman of the future? I mean, he has said, and I'm talking about Karros. Karros has said in the past that he models his game after Nolan Arenado. Which is a great player to model after. Karros, looking at his number, again, small sample size, 21 at-bats.
It's only been 6 games with the Rockies.
Right, and 21 at-bats, but he's hitting 333, and he's gotten a couple extra base hits and 3 RBIs. We'll take that in an OPS of almost 900. So, and that's a good start. At least he's not like 0 for 12 or 0 for 20 or whatever. He's been able to keep his own, and he's 23 years of age, so he's going to grow into that. And I'm really super excited about Karros. And like you said, the Rockies, I think, are doing an excellent job in doing and making these prospects play. Because again, I just feel like Bud Black, if he was still a manager here, we would still see, Nick Martini, who is DFA'd, and like I will say, I do not like Kyle Farmer still on this team. It's just like, why is he here?
Kyle Farmer?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, he does have a clutch at bat or two, but it's just like, why is he still here when he's only hitting 218 and his OPS is well below league average? Yeah. And it's just like, this guy does not need to be on the team. We need to DFA him like we DFA'd Jerkson Profar a couple years ago. But yeah, Tyler Freeman. Go ahead.
The Rockies, I think, have a couple big names that are on the IL. I mean, Chris Bryant. Oh my god.
I forgot. I like for a second I thought he forgot. I forgot he was a Rocky. It's honestly. I mean, you feel bad for the guy. You feel.
Let me look up when they signed Chris Bryant. Okay.
It was in the spring of 2022. I think. Yeah, 2022.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to double check.
And he played. Cubs traded him to the Giants
in 2021 at the deadline.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's why the Giants they won the division, right? And Chris Bryant was so good for the Giants. He helped them get to the division series and played against the Dodgers. And then
it's been 3 full seasons, almost a 4th season.
He's our highest paid player, by the way, for those who are wondering.
Yeah, this is true. But
he's barely played a full year. He's barely played a full year. If you count all his games in the 3 years, he's barely played a full year. That's how bad it is.
162 games in a regular season. Okay, like stick with me, guys. He has played 170 total games for the Rockies since he signed with them in 2022. That is only 8 games above. Like
a full season, a full season, and then not to mention there are players like Freddie Freeman who can almost play 162 games in a year. That's how bad it is.
Yep. Yeah. So Chris Bryant, he's on the injured list. Antonio Senzatella is also on the injured list. Seth Harvelson on the injured list. Orlando Arcia, Tyro Estrada, Angel Shavili, Herman Marquez. They're all on the injured list, and those. Hopefully, Rockies have like maybe 6 good players.
Yeah, I mean we have pieces here. I mean Tovar. Doyle. I think Doyle's starting to turn around. He's had a few games recently.
I'm gonna go out and say the Rockies like good players: Hunter Goodman, Jordan Beck, Brenton Doyle, Mickey Moniak, Michael Tobia. Maybe Ezekiel Tovar. And And then, like Jimmy Herget, okay?
Yeah.
Like Ryan Feltner in that place. I don't know.
Or
But like
Victor Vodnik, a guy in our bullpen.
The Rockies don't have good pieces. I think that has been the problem for years. Like they just like
we need a superstar.
There's just nothing happening.
Right. And the thing is too, like again, we're going to wrap this up in just like in the next 3 to 5 minutes here. But I will say this. This is probably going to be one of the last things I'll say. I think again, the Rockies need a superstar because again, it's just like seeing superstars on other teams. It just like makes me wish we had Arenado again, or wish we still had the core 3, core 4 of Blackmon.
I thought McMahon was going to be the superstar.
And see, yeah, and I think that's what the Rockies wanted him. And again, we talked about this on the Rockies Now podcast. Go check that out with Tommy and Adam over there. But we've talked about multiple times that the Rockies, they tend to pressure players saying, okay, you're the next guy up. You're our leader now. Where McMahon, that's not who McMahon is. He's more of a guy that is more of like he blends into that lineup, right? I mean, you look at a 2018 season, McMahon was under Arenado, and McMahon was under Trevor Story, under Blackmon's shadow. And so
McMahon, he was one of the best hitters.
And right. And I mean, I'll never forget McMahon hit a walk-off home run against your Dodgers at Coors Field. I mean, that's when I feel like Mac was at his peak. 2019, Ryan McMahon, look at his stats. Yeah. Or first half stats. I remember Mac should have been an all-star in 2019, but he wasn't unable to. But yeah, it was a snub. But it goes to show you that Mac wasn't the number one guy on the team. He wasn't the team captain or the team leader. It belonged to Trevor Story, Charlie Blackmon when they were still there. But it's just like Ryan McMahon was never the team leader or the face of the franchise. That's not who he is. And the reason why I'm excited about the future of the Rockies here, Mason, is because the Rockies now don't really have a guy on this team right now. I know it sounds bad, but they don't have a guy where they say, okay, you're the next guy up. Now it's just like, okay, who's going to step up to be that next guy, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing I'm excited about. Even though it sucks right now to be a Rockies fan, and we're seeing all these records being broken of how bad we are, and we're like 32-88, and we're only like 12 games away from hitting 100 losses. I'm still excited though, because it's just, this is a tremendous opportunity for some of these younger players to become a superstar or be that. Well, I don't know. That's the crazy thing about baseball. But you see, like Arenado. Like when Arenado made his debut with the Rockies, right? Todd Helton was in his last year as the Rockies first baseman. They didn't say, okay, Arenado, you're our superstar hero third baseman. Arenado honestly didn't have that great of a year. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, he was average, but Arenado grew into the role of becoming a superstar. Trevor Story grew into the role of a superstar because Troy Tulowitzki was under Todd Helton and Matt Holliday, right? There has to be a guy that has to take, and so that's why I'm glad the Rockies just they made the move for McMahon. They didn't sit like on their hands and knees and say, "Well, we love McMahon, so we're going to keep him around because we feel." No, the Rockies made the right choice by trading him, and I haven't really checked up on his stats, and we're not going to today just because of time. But the Rockies, I think, are in a great spot to find their next guy, and if it's Ethan Holiday where they have to wait a couple years, I'm fine with it. At least we have the guy. And by the way, for minor league news here, I know a lot of our listeners might not be too interested in minor league stuff because, again, there's a lot of players to cover the minor leagues. I mean, there's like 4 minor league systems to cover, right? 4 teams to cover. But Ethan Holiday, he made his debut the other night for the Fresno Grizzlies, the Rockies' low ace team, and he went, I believe, 2 for 4, got a double and a single. And
there is great potential in the Rockies farm. There's great potential on the Rockies major league roster. Again, I think it's one of those issues where it's like there's something else going on that I think us as fans and people who are on the inside, like we can't see that.
Right. And obviously, I think a lot of people will point to ownership, which I will also agree to that.
100%.
It's a lot of,
I mean,
it's Dick Monfort.
I'm going to point my finger at ownership.
Right. Exactly. And here's the thing, like, again, we're not going to share. I mean, we're not going to share our workplace, but the place where both Mason and I work, I saw a guy wearing a Savannah Bananas jersey the other day, and I was working, and I just passed by him, and I'm like, hey, did you go to the Savannah Bananas game the other night at Coors Field? And he's like, absolutely, it was sold out. Everybody was so excited to be there, and it was fun to watch.
Savannah Bananas have brought the best baseball to Denver
in
since
years.
2009,
2017, 2018. You know, it's just like we need that. And I don't think there was one single bad comment about this. I don't think I've ever seen one single bad comment about the Savannah Bananas.
I mean,
And that's
obviously banana ball, very different from actual
exactly
baseball, but it's
exactly
like the Rockies need guys who
make it fun to watch baseball every night.
Exactly. I'm just like they don't have to be making like the trick plays like the Bananas do. They don't have to they don't have to be interesting crowd, but like there are players on the Savannah Bananas like everybody
that
in
could
Banana Ball.
instantly make the Rockies better.
I know. I'm just like, if you get someone like that, if you get like Coach Rack from the Bananas,
yes,
like, dude, oh my goodness, I don't care.
Rockies fans would show up.
He probably doesn't care if you pay him nothing.
Exactly.
Just have a great time.
And the thing that really was heartwarming was I saw the message of like the guy talking to the fans up in the stands, up in the high bleachers, talking about how they do this for the fans because they love the sport, they love baseball, and and again, we've heard multiple times Dick Monfort is a very nice person, very loyal, but sometimes that can be a really big problem. Loyalty then it becomes nepotism, right? Because again, just recently, just a few weeks ago to a month or two ago, the Rockies promoted Sterling Monfort, which is was it Sterling or Walker? I think it was Sterling Monfort, which is Dick Monfort's son, to vice president. And we all know that he's eventually
that's just straight nepotism.
It is, and he's probably gonna become the next owner once Dick Monfort steps down. And we just hope and pray that Sterling is better than his father. But it's just like the Rockies need more
that
excitement.
notification, and if you're a Rockies fan, you know that management has been a problem for decades.
Yeah.
But I saw that promotion. I was like, okay, great. Now we're stuck with the same family for years.
Yeah.
And and it's like
you just kind of hope that it's not the same situation where
exactly,
like it's not.
But I think the other side to that coin is you said Sterling's his name, Starling.
Yeah, Sterling Monfort. Yeah,
Sterling, I think, has that expectation from his father to run the business the way that
they view it as a business. They view the Rockies as a business rather than a baseball team.
I mean, it is a business.
It is, but but the
business
exactly.
Like,
but they don't see it.
I hate to say that it's a business, but it's a business.
Exactly, and they look at it as, oh, okay, we're gonna fill the bar in right field in the high, like the rooftop. I think that's what they call it, and it's just
that's all it is. That's all
exactly. Or beer prices. Like I really, it's just like, guys, that it's just, and like we'll see these promotions about, hey, cheap tickets. Like honestly, you can watch the Rockies on MLB TV for like, I don't know, $20 or $30, and instead of like at the start of the year it was like $100 or whatever it was. But it's just like
you could buy $8 tickets off of an off-market website.
There you go. Not this is not a click, by the way. We're just like letting you guys know.
We're not promoting any
of that.
We're not
promoting anything.
There were ways for you to get cheap tickets to the Rockies game.
But yeah, it's just like we need to see better. And I will say this: there are times to where baseball teams are good, even when they have bad ownership. I mean, it happens.
I think this year, the Rays. I think the Rays are. I think their ownership, didn't they actually just sold the team, right?
Yeah, they just sold the team, and because there was threats about the guy like not wanting to come back to Tampa Bay, but the new guy, he's like, no, we're staying, which is good, which I'm so happy for Tampa Bay. And for Rockies fans, again, we're gonna wrap this up here in just a second. For the Rockies fans that are wondering, oh, the Rockies, are they gonna move out? There's no way. I mean, you look at the Savannah Bananas. Like Denver loves baseball. Like
Denver loves sports. I think Denver is one of the best sports cities.
100%,
without a doubt.
And not only that, but you like the stadium. There's not like a stadium situation in Denver like there was in Oakland with the Athletics playing in that. Even though the Coliseum was very much like a lot of memories made there and had a charm of its own. To put it kindly, because again, a lot of memories there. I mean,
there
the
were
Moneyball
a lot of problems with that stadium.
I mean, Moneyball. I mean, the movie Moneyball. I mean, happened there. I mean, the story of Moneyball in the early 2000s of where they won the 19, 20 straight games. It's just iconic. But again, Oakland, they're moving to a different market. There's a lot of stuff going on over there. Las Vegas is growing, but the Denver market is one of the fastest growing sports markets. Still, I mean, just recently we just got a women's professional soccer team. So it's just like. We're growing over here in Denver. It's not like we're declining.
Denver has always been one of the best sports markets, and it's still growing.
Right.
I mean, we have if you are ever in Colorado, And if you're driving through Denver, which you probably will have to,
You have to.
flying into DIA, which, by the way, we both live in Colorado. The Denver airport is one of the worst airports ever.
Oh, the drive,
it is awful. So if you've never been to Colorado and you're planning on it, I'm just forewarning you. The Denver airport is awful to navigate, and it's awful to get in and out of there.
Right. Well, then it takes forever, right? But still,
it takes forever to get anywhere. I mean,
it's out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
It's nice that the city of Denver is like almost in the middle of Colorado, and Colorado is the shape of a square.
It's so
which
simple.
Means that it's like, if you're trying to go to Fort Collins, which is north of Denver, that's like about an hour drive.
Roughly, yeah.
So it's also an hour drive. I don't know what's south of Denver. I rarely ever go south of Denver.
Yeah. Well, and give or take, it's like even sometimes with the traffic, it takes an hour and a half to get up to Fort Collins, lovely area.
Denver traffic.
Oh,
it's awful.
Good luck.
Not as bad as California traffic.
Not
as bad as I-5 traffic.
No.
But I-25 traffic is also pretty awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're coming through Denver at all, whether like you live north of Colorado, you live south of Colorado, east, west, or you're flying into Colorado, no matter where you're coming from, you're going to have to go through Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're flying in, like you're going to have to go through Denver, and you're going to see downtown Denver. Don't go to downtown Denver. It's ugly and gross down there.
Yes.
But you're going to see,
Facts.
You'll see Ball Arena. You'll see Coors Field. You'll see Empower Field. Ball Arena is shared by the Nuggets and Avalanche, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I thought. But Denver is a great city for sports. The Rockies aren't leaving Denver. No way.
No. I mean, I think the worst that would happen, and I think this might have happened years ago. Dick Monfort's like, well, maybe Denver doesn't deserve the baseball team, but that's just like talk. It's just PR. Really, it really is.
And also, even if that is a rumor, where do you move to?
Exactly. I mean, it's like Las Vegas already going to get a team. Like, I mean, where are you going to move to? Utah? I mean, it's not much better over Utah. I mean, I know Utah's market's growing, but like, why would you move to Utah? And here's another thing. I think even if the Rockies, this is never going to happen. Even if the Rockies were to move out, Denver would immediately want a baseball team. Immediately.
100%. Or as the fans, we're just going to fight it.
Exactly. And I think people, and here's where people get it wrong. People love the Rockies. They just do not like the ownership. We love the Rockies. I mean, I see people almost every single day, even at work. I'll see people coming in with Charlie Blackmon, jerseys, or I'll see people with Rockies license plates and Rockies sticker. People love the Rockies.
They're wearing Todd Helton jerseys.
Exactly.
They're wearing Matt Holiday jerseys. It's like the Rockies as a team have been a mainstay of Denver in Colorado since
the early 1990s.
I mean, really since the beginning.
Yeah. It's just like, and to hear the story of how they came here, and again, there's a video on YouTube people can watch. It should be on the Rockies YouTube official YouTube page, but there's a story about how the Rockies came to Denver, and it's actually really kind of emotional, just how hard it was to get there here. But it was so awesome because the reason why the whole thing, the reason why the Rockies exist in Denver is not because of Dick Monfort, because actually Monfort wasn't even the owner until like the early 2000s, late 1990s. But it was the fans that petitioned to bring a baseball team to Denver. It wasn't like, oh, a bunch of people, a bunch of older men came together. Hey, let's start a baseball team. No, it was the fans that wanted a baseball team.
Yeah.
And so it's special because this team is special, but it's just like, it's sad to see where it is right now. But
I think what all people are hoping for, and I think Steven, you'll agree with me, is we need ownership to change.
Yep.
And we need the people who are in power to realize that it's not just a business, it's a sport.
Yep. Like the Broncos.
Yeah.
Do exactly like the Broncos.
Yeah, I think what the Broncos have done since
180.
drafting Bo Nix.
180.
It's you realize, hey, there are these players who aren't working. We need to get rid of them.
Yep.
And it's like it doesn't matter if
how
you
hurt
pay them,
or how much it hurts. You have to let go.
Doesn't matter if it's an extreme.
That's what they should do with Chris Bryant, but they won't. They won't.
Or if you pay them nothing, it doesn't matter. It's like if a player is not good, get rid of them. Find different assets.
Right. Like I know we're still paying Chris Bryant for another couple years, which sucks. But it's just like at this point, if he's not even play, it'd be better for him just to sit out. Like just get rid of him. But the Rockies won't do that because they're super loyal.
Really, I think that's a big one. He's our highest paid player after trading away McMahon. Was he actually our highest paid player before we traded McMahon?
Yeah. He's been our highest paid player since he signed here. 182 for 7 years.
Ugh.
182.
Ew.
And I think I saw somebody did like some sports thing on I was scrolling through YouTube.
DFAs.
Yeah, I saw a reel again. I saw a reel the other day. It was a sports guy, a sports creator, and he was doing like the top 10 worst baseball contracts of all time. Chris Bryant for him was number 2. Number 1, Anthony Rendon to the Angels.
Oh, 100. Well, Anthony
Rendon. We already know that he hates
think that's
baseball.
just an undisputed worst trade
of all time
in MLB all time.
I mean, Rendon when he was with the Nationals, yeah, he was good, but he was not like the best third baseman in baseball. It's just like. But
he's not paying that much money.
But also too, like there's a comparison between Rendon. Rendon hates baseball. Chris Bryant, it's just like you feel bad for the guy. It's just like he's the unluckiest person in the history of the game.
In Chris Bryant, he loves baseball,
dude. Like you met like when you saw him win for the Cubs, or even when he got traded from the Cubs to the Giants, he was crying. I mean, he loved Chicago.
Chicago
MVP. It was home for him.
Home.
Yeah, I mean, drafted, developed there. Even though he was almost drafted by the Rockies were right behind the Cubs in the draft in 2016 or 2015. I take that back. It was like 2013, 2014. Anyways, but I just feel bad for the guy, and hopefully Chris Bryant, if this is it, and I think his injuries, a lot of it has been like almost career-ending injuries, like plantar fasciitis, his back issues.
He came to the Rockies, and then all of a sudden his back just doesn't work anymore.
I think a lot of it, I'm not going to say immediately course field, but the altitude, your body just does not do well.
I think that's definitely part of it, but like
a part of it, yeah.
I feel like the Rockies it's been his lumbar area.
Exactly. Well, even when he was with the Cubs, he had injuries. It wasn't as often with the Rockies, but he had injuries with the Cubs. And even with maybe he had a short IL stint with the Giants, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, it's been with Bryant for a while, but it's just like up until he came to Colorado, it just has gotten worse and worse as he aged.
I think a big move, obviously we all just hope and pray that they sell the team.
Yep. Maybe by the end of the year.
We can hope and pray all we want, but I think the big move outside of that is I think just get rid of Chris Bryant.
Yep.
I think when he has played, he's been a fun player for Colorado.
Great clubhouse guy, really very friendly. Great clubhouse guy, great leader. I mean, he was kind of signed to be that guy, but he has not been in the dugout that often.
But I think if the Rockies, he's getting surgery to like replace something in his back. I think,
yeah, it's just like his back is just falling apart, like literally.
And it's like it. I think we keep him next season. But if he gets on the IL again, if he doesn't hit well, if he's not feeling, get rid of him.
Yep.
I think as a fan of the team, get rid of him. I think if I'm a part of management in the team and I enjoy baseball for baseball, get rid of him. If I'm a part of the management team and I'm in business and I care about the business, get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think from all aspects of Colorado Rockies and like all aspects of what baseball is, Chris Bryant is not helping the Rockies.
He's only played like 9 games this year.
Yeah.
9.
He's played the
first 9 games of the year.
He's played 170 games since he signed with them in 2021, which is only 8 games more than a normal regular season.
Yeah. And he was supposed to be our best player, and he's been like one of the worst players for us. I mean, I will argue 2023, he was his most healthiest year. He played like 90 some games.
Yep.
And that year wasn't too bad. And that's when I was like, okay, here we go. Like, we're going to start like seeing it more, but then he just gets
his back, it's broken.
Yep. Kind of like, I hate saying it, but it's kind of like Troy Tulowitzki in his last few years with the Rockies. I mean, Troy Tulowitzki kept getting leg injury after leg injury, and then we traded him to Toronto. And of course, he has a good, few years with Toronto there. But anyways, yeah, it sucks. And hopefully we see a change here soon for the Rockies, whether it's, just by getting better product on the field or just simple ownership like we've been, preaching about, especially on our Rockies podcast. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap it up.
I'll throw this out. We'll wrap it up with, I think for looking for the last month and a half, Dodgers, Padres, we're looking at those two teams being our wild cards.
Keep an eye on those two teams. Yeah.
Our division leaders. I mean, without a doubt. And those two are looking to take that top spot. It's going to be a battle for the rest of the season between those two. Giant Diamondbacks still have a chance to make it into the wild card. If the Dodgers or the Padres do falter. But if the Dodgers and Padres still stay consistent, Diamondbacks, Giants are out of the running. And I think the offseason for those teams need to look like, okay, what are our tools? How do we need to utilize them? For the Rockies, like we mentioned quite a few times, it's where are the tools?
Yep.
Where do we find the tools? How can we expand depth? I think is really what we're looking at for the NL West heading into the last month and a half of this season.
And really, at this point, if you're the Rockies, just try to play spoiler baseball as much as you can. Let the younger kids play. I could care less about Kyle Farmer getting at bats because Amador, Ryan Ritter, they need to be getting at bats.
I think it's another good point.
Right,
Let the younger guys play.
Yep. And then keep playing Kyle Karros at third base. And, of course, our guy, one of our favorite names in baseball, Warming Birdabell at first base. Jordan Beck, keep playing him. I mean, the guy is hitting Hunter Goodman, obviously, the guy's going to hit 30 home runs. He had 2 home runs yesterday, I think, against St. Louis.
He's the third best catcher in the National League.
And he should have been the starting catcher this year in the All-Star game, but they had no offense, but Will Smith,
who is the second best catcher in the National League.
But I think it's because of voting. I think that's why he started.
Will Smith is the best catcher. The second best catcher is William Contreras, and then Hunter Goodman's the third best.
But I think Will Smith started because I'm pretty sure it was because of the fan voting in the All-Star game, and I think that's how it worked because you vote for the starters, and then the rest, like the coaching, takes care of the rest, I think. But just keep playing the younger players here. I mean, and some of the younger players this year are having. I mean, again, Hunter Goodman, All-Star year, 276 this year, 851 OPS. Let me pull it up here. Kyle Karros, again, he just got called up. Again, small sample size, only 21 at bats, 333. Warming Birdabell, 294. 848 OPS. Jordan Beck, who's been playing all year, he's been great. 276, 801. So these numbers are not that bad. I mean, there are players on the Pirates and other teams that have worse numbers than this. And it's just like the Rockies have players, but are they the guys? That's what we have to find out. And
that's the rest of this season and what the offseason needs to look like.
And exactly. And like you said, the Rockies don't have a guy that they can say, okay, he is our guy. We have solid players. We have a guy that we know is going to be a superstar. It's just like, we'll see what we have in these guys. And so the best the Rockies can do is not trade away and build around these guys. And like pray that, again, things can turn around here and hoping, because again, there's been rumors talking about the Rockies shaking things up in the front office. They always say that, but then they don't do anything. So we got to see stuff happen there, but we're still excited about baseball season as we wrap up the last, month and a half. There's still a lot to go. The race is going to get crazier, which is like one of the best times in baseball, obviously, and in sports. I mean, once October baseball comes around, it's so exciting. It's really good stuff to watch. So we appreciate everyone for sticking on all the way through this, recording. If you're watching or listening to this later, we do appreciate you. Feel free to like and subscribe. Tell a friend who loves baseball, and especially if they love an NLS team. Also tell them about it. Again, we're just starting this baseball now off. We're not officially really running everything's every day. We're still kind of putting a team together. But this is our first official podcast. So we have the pleasure of doing this for you guys. We're really excited about the future of baseball now. And hopefully we'll start doing like NL Central, NL East podcasts coming up soon with other co-hosts as well once we start bringing on more people.
Yes.
Mason, thanks for coming on in. Good to see you. And of course, it's been awesome been on here and be a co-host always, here on the pod.
Hey, like Steven said, appreciate all of you being here. I've been Mason Braggins, your host for the NL West pod on Baseball Now. Shout outs to my co-host, Steven, for just being here as always. And we will catch you guys in the next episode of Baseball Now. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, let's go. All righty, let's go.